In this video, we got another episode of the series where I do rate and improve your guys' squads. You guys will send me your teams over on Twitter at xevantanaka, and every 3 days or so, I'll put out a tweet asking for teams, and you guys will reply to that tweet with your squad and how much MT you guys have, and then I'll pick like 6 or so teams to go over in one of these videos. So if you guys want a chance to be featured in a video, make sure to head over to Twitter, look out for that tweet that I will be posting every 3 days-ish or so. But if you guys also want to comment your teams down below underneath the YouTube video, make sure to let me know your guys' squad, how much MT you guys have as well, and I'll try to help you guys out as much as I can. But looking at the first team here of the video, and I think for the rating out of 10, it's definitely a solid squad. He said Cade has 7 legend badges and fully Hall of Fame badge, so I would assume he's a huge Cade fan, and he says he's willing to move on from the rest of the lineup besides Cade and Caruso. And I think both those point guards, I mean, if you have 7 legend badges on Cade, fully Hall of Fame badged out, even though he's not my favorite point guard in this game, he is still very, very good. Caruso I absolutely love at the backup point guard position. I like your shooting guards at B-Roy and Dr. J. I think Rudy Gay is amazing, but I'm not a huge fan of Elton Brand. I think Khalil Ware is great. I think Kristaps is great. I think Frank Kaminsky could potentially play on the squad, but I think for you, you're really looking at getting a better backup small forward and a better backup center. I would say for the backup small forward position, easy option, Jonathan Bender. I bought him on my Nobody Spent account today for like 35,000 MT. He's a great pickup for that price tag. I think he's sort of in your budget as well, and he's going to be a tall small forward to go next to Dr. J and Caruso, who don't have like the most size in the world, but definitely are tall cards for their position. But I think having that 7-foot tall small forward, you know, in Jonathan Bender is going to be really nice for this squad. And then at backup center, just go get Diamond Tyson Chandler. He's a lot better in my opinion than Sabonis. He'd be a great center card next to Frank Kaminsky. You'd have great height in the front court with Bender, Frank Kaminsky, and Tyson Chandler. 3 7-footers. He's going to give you that exceptionally good interior defense. He's going to have a good jump shot, and he's going to be extremely fast for a center card compared to Galaxy Opal Sabonis. So for this squad, I would really just upgrade the backup small forward to Pink Diamond Jonathan Bender, and then upgrade your backup center position to Diamond Tyson Chandler. I think those are 2 very, very easy upgrades for your squad, but all around a good team to start out with. Looking at the next squad coming in from Gabe, he says he's got 650,000 MT to work with. He's not really feeling Zach LaVine anymore, and he's wondering if there's any other good options he can use. So I'm looking at this team, and this is a very good squad. I mean, I'm seeing that great duo of Joakim Noah and Corey Brewer. I'm seeing cards like Dark Matter Reeves, Opal Giannis, Pink Diamond Khalil Ware. This is an amazing starting 5. I would not touch the starting 5 at all. And I think the bench is good. It potentially could be better. I think with this much MT, you could go one of 2 ways. You could go for maybe a really expensive backup point guard, or potentially obviously start this card and go get like a Dark Matter Gary Payton. He's definitely under 650,000 MT. At least I do believe he's under that price tag. So you could go get Gary Payton if you want that like top point guard. But what you could also do is just go get Galaxy Opal Caruso. He would be a really good point guard off the bench for this specific team, because you could put him next to Brandon Roy, put him next to Michael Beasley, because you kind of need defense off your bench. Right now, you don't really have any great perimeter defenders to be like that lockdown, to be that defensive option. You have Zach LaVine, who's a good scorer. You have Brandon Roy, who's a really good scorer. You have Michael Beasley, who's a really good scorer. Jonathan Bender, who's a really good scorer. None of these cards are great perimeter defenders. So I think getting Caruso for your backup point guard position is almost like a perfect point guard for your backup. And then, you know, you can maybe even keep Jonathan Bender at power forward, or you could potentially sell him, move Hakeem to the backup power forward position, and then maybe go get like a Diamond Tyson Chandler. Maybe go get a bit more expensive of a center card like Pink Diamond and Kristaps. I think that would be another really good option as well. So a couple different routes you can go with this squad, but definitely would recommend 100% getting Galaxy Opal Caruso. Looking at the next squad here coming in from Dev, he says he got 150k as of right now, and this team is good besides a couple players off the bench. Not a huge fan of Anthony Davis and Sabonis at this point of 2k. I think for this squad, I'm really looking at potentially getting you know, that dynamic duo of Joakim Noah and Corey Brewer. I'm going to recommend it. I know it's something that you can't just like go buy on the auction house, and you can't really spend MT to get it. But if you can get those pieces, get those 5 Galaxy Opal pieces for Joakim Noah, if you can go ahead and you can also get those 5 Amethyst pieces for Corey Brewer, I would recommend using that duo off your bench. And what I would do probably if you were to do that is start Rudy Gay, sell Hedo Turkoglu, and then off the bench have Corey Brewer as your backup small forward, have Joakim Noah as your backup power forward, and then for your backup center position, again, Diamond Tyson Chandler I think is such a good option. 150k, you don't have too much to work with. You could go for like an Opal Gobert, a Opal Vlade Divac, but I think Diamond Tyson Chandler is so much better for his price tag. So if you want to go that route, I would definitely do that. If you don't, like let's say you can't get the pieces or you just don't want Joakim Noah or Corey Brewer, I think your bench really just could use, again, a better backup power forward and a better backup center. I really do like the idea of going like a Frank Kaminsky at the backup power forward position and a Diamond Tyson Chandler at backup center. I think you get a great mix of versatility where you're going to have a great offensive power forward, a card that has a good jump shot, can stretch the floor, and then your center is going to be more of that defensive option, a card that's going to be an exceptionally good defender, a really good rebounder. But I think for this squad, there's a tons of different ways you could go as well with this type of squad. But looking at the next team here, sent in from King Dracula, he's got 500,000 MT to work with after quick selling shoes. He's got a badged up Dr. J and also a badged up Wemby. So this team, really good off the bat. I mean, that starting lineup is amazing across the board. I think with this team, I'm looking at backup point guard to upgrade with 500,000 MT to work with. I think you could make that big purchase and go out and get a Dark Matter Gary Payton. I think you could probably also upgrade your backup power forward spot by moving Kel'el Ware to backup power forward. And then again, getting a card like Diamond Tyson Chandler. I absolutely love that card. I seriously think he's so amazing for his price tag. But just to give you a couple other options, Pink Diamond Kristaps, Opal Vlade Divac, Opal Rudy Gobert. Those are going to be a lot of the great center cards in this game for like under 100k. So whatever card you like more, whatever card you do prefer spending the MT on. But I think what I would do is definitely look to get Gary Payton as your backup point guard. But if you don't want to do that, you could even go for like a Pink Diamond Stephon Castle. I think he's a lot better at the point guard position than Pink Diamond Levine. But then I would move Kel'el Ware to backup power forward, get rid of Bob McAdoo, and then go ahead and get either a Diamond Tyson Chandler, a Pink Diamond Kristaps, a Galaxy Gobert, or a Galaxy Vlade Divac. But overall, this is a very, very good squad to start out with. Looking at the next team here, coming in from Sports Fanatic, or Shelly, I guess. He says he got just over 100,000 MT, and he's about to get Brandon Roy and also looking to get that Noah and Brewer duo. So let's just say, for example, you're going to get that duo because, again, I would 100% highly recommend getting that dynamic duo. What you can do is you can get rid of Michael Cooper, right? Maybe you can run him off the bench, or you could just completely get rid of him. And what you could do is start Corey Brewer at your starting shooting guard position, move Kel'el Ware to your starting center position, DeAndre Jordan to your backup center position, and then obviously start Joakim Noah at power forward. That would be a great starting lineup. And then off your bench, you can keep Curry. I mean, he's a fun point guard to use. You have him unauctionable. I feel like you might as well just have fun with that card. Backup shooting guard, again, you could keep Michael Cooper, but for a squad like this, you could go cheap and you could just go for a Pink Diamond Matt Barnes. I think that's 100% worth his price tag. Backup small forward, I would go Pink Diamond Jonathan Bender. Also really worth his price tag. And then again, I'm going to recommend like maybe a Frank Kaminsky here, right, for backup power forward, right? I'm going to maybe recommend a Diamond Tyson Chandler. I think both of those options are really good. Maybe a Pink Diamond Kristaps if you want to play DeAndre Jordan at power forward, or maybe you want to use Alex Sarr. So those are kind of the suggestions that I would go with this type of team. But I think you can make quite a bit of improvements with your squad, especially if you do get that dynamic duo between Joakim Noah and Corey Brewer. But looking at the last team here of the video, boys, sent in from DD Cherry, I guess 700,000 MT to work with. He's got Chet and Murray that are unsellable, and he's also getting Bob McAdoo soon. So I think for me, I know you can't sell Ricky Davis, but again, this is a squad that I'd recommend getting that dynamic duo and then using that off the bench as your backup shooting guard and your backup power forward. I think with that, you can pretty much just call your team there if you can get that. If you can't, Ricky Davis is really good. I would just upgrade that backup power forward position. You have a lot of MT to spend. I would maybe go out and get like a Galaxy Jaren Jackson Jr. I think if you need that one upgrade at power forward with the MT you have, I think that's a pretty good buy. But like I said, I would recommend trying to get that duo of Joakim Noah and Corey Brewer. But still, I think Jaren Jackson Jr. will be that perfect power forward for your backup power forward position. But that's going to wrap it up, boys, for another episode of the series where I do rate and improve your guys' team. But like I said earlier, let me know your guys' squad down below, how much MT you guys have, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.